with former world cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson. Johnny, we saw a very exciting undercard to AJ's American debut. The main event didn't go the way British fans would like and AJ would like, but the undercard certainly compensated to an extent for that. Katie Taylor's the first one I wanted to ask you about. She took a contentious points victory over Delphine Persoon to add the WBC belt at lightweight, the only one she didn't have. She's now the undisputed champion. Very happy with that, satisfied. Very, very tough fight. Did you have her winning?
I didn't have Katie Taylor winning the fight. I didn't think she won. I think it was an opponent that was completely wrong for her, didn't work for her, and Katie Taylor still stuck to her game plan, still stuck to what she had to do. Maybe if they go back and do it again, she'll think, right, I've got to box her this way. I personally didn't think she won. It was tight, it was close, but Persoon had that fight. She was hawkish, she was long, she was determined, she tried to push her back, she was messy, she moulded her up so Katie Taylor couldn't get into a rhythm. But it was a good, entertaining scrap all the way through. Again, she stole the show. Again, you know, it was a cracking fight. I didn't think she won, but you know what? Sometimes we need a little bit of luck. You know, we've all been in fights where we think, wow, that was a tight one. Maybe they'll do it again, you never know. But it was a very exciting, intriguing fight. Katie Taylor's a hero in Ireland, and she'll go back. She's a fighter, she's got a fighter's heart, so she'll think, right, you know what, I need to right this wrong. And regardless of what decision she got, she's got to think for herself, the way she comes across, I think she want to right that for her own self.
Talking of close, hard to call fights, Josh Kelly, after an unblemished professional record, had his a draw with Ray Robinson out in the US. Now Robinson thought he'd done enough to win.
Yeah.
I thought some of the rounds were exceptionally difficult to score.
Yeah.
How did you have it, and what mistakes, if any, did you feel Kelly made?
I'd agree with that. I think Josh Kelly, it was a graduation for Josh Kelly. Robinson, you know, on paper, it was just far too much with a big hat to hang. Kelly, it was a good introduction to the big time. It's a good introduction to a higher level, a higher caliber of opponent. There is improvement there for Josh Kelly. You look at Ray Robertson, is there improvement there for him? So it was a good learning match, again, another intriguing one. Because Kelly is probably used to having an opponent that'll fall for the odd trick, leave an opening gap, and he picks him off. Now he's getting in with a fighter that's got experience. So now he's got to navigate another way around and beating somebody that knows the tricks that he's got. And that's, you know, that's experience. You've got to go for experience to get wisdom. So he needs these kind of opponents to bring him on.
Kelly seemed to fade to an extent in the second half of the fight. Is part of that to do with his style, like using a lot of nervous energy with all the feints and the foot movement?
Yeah, of course, but it was a learning fight for him. So all the feints and the footwork, he's trying to make Robinson make a mistake, make him slip. And halfway through he's thinking, wow, this guy's not falling for it. So he didn't know which way to go about it. How can I make this guy commit himself so I can pick him off? And he was trying every possible way, give him the face, give him a look, drop his hand, stand in front of him, try and draw him on. He was far too cute for that. He wasn't having it. So for Kelly, he's going to go back and learn. Now he has to nail down and think, right, if that doesn't work, I've got to now pick it up. I've got to learn to be a more offensive fighter to close people down. He was a good defensive fighter, good defensive counter puncher, but now he needs to be more of an offensive fighter to capitalise on how good he is.
Talking of offensive fighters in the nicest possible way, Callum Smith certainly falls into that category. Yeah. Now he looked great, being admittedly a long-time middleweight in Hassan and Ndam, but he looks incredibly good. No one's really done that to Ndam before and just destroyed him in the manner Smith did.
And Ndam is not a super middleweight, and that fight quite clearly showed that you're fighting a world-class fighter in Smith. And Ndam thought, you know what, I'm going to go for this. I know this guy, I'm familiar with him. But it doesn't matter how much you spar. When you've got those little gloves on and it comes to fight time, sparring is that. Fighting is that. It brings the levels out in there. I had a sparring partner and he was very, very good. He gave me hellfire in the gym. But I stopped him in 7 rounds. And Smith knew, you know, when it came to it, when it came to the crunch, when it comes to getting in the ring, he had far too much for him. And Dan thought, you know what, I'm going to see if I can test myself there. He's quite clearly not a super middle. And Callum Smith, you know, he cemented his position and said, right, this is what I'm doing, this is who I am, respect me. He's hoping to get a big fight on there with Canelo. You never know, but to me, I think he's just shown another side to him where you think, look, how are we going to beat this guy?
Talking, just rounding up the undercard, 2 fighters at different ends of the spectrum in their careers. Tommy Coyle, brave defeat against Chris Algieri. Joshua Buatsi turning a few heads by stopping Marco Antonio Periban. What did you make of those two?
Okay, Tommy Cole in Algeria. I think Algeria showed how much he's deteriorated in regards from the fighter we've seen from the past, from world champions. And Tommy Cole pushed him. At times he was hurt. In reality, if we're honest, Tommy Cole is not a world-class fighter, but at times he had Algeria in a little bit of trouble. So it's about the improvement. Tommy Cole was about the deterioration of Algeria, and I think it was about the deterioration of Algeria. It was a good, entertaining fight. And that was what it was all about. Tommy Cole thought, you know what, I boxed in Madison Square Garden. Yes, he caught up to me eventually, but what he did was he exposed Algeria to say, you are no longer a top draw fighter. And that's what he did. In regards to Buatsi, I rate him every day of the week. And Buatsi, again, all the Brits learn on that card. All the Brits learn something new about themselves, about boxing away from home, about opponents that have got a big heart and that are not intimidated by their record or what they've achieved. So Buatsi, again, learned massively from that to go on and make him think, right, this is what I need to do. And you never know. That might have been the best thing that happened to him when he was in a win there, because he didn't have an opponent that just folded, that was intimidated by him. He had an opponent, a live opponent that really fancied it.
Johnny Nelson, we thank you for your insight.